in Azerbaijan, Ali Aliyev, the leader of Citizen and Development Party, was arrested and sentenced to prison in just a matter of hours. He was convicted in what is believed to be a politically motivated sham trial. What does this say about the human rights records in Azerbaijan?
Well, we've talked about this in the past, that the Baku regime feels that it can get away with increasing the repression, suppression of the media, free expression of views, human rights violations, running these sham trials. I mean, there are a number. This is just the most most recent and in many respects the most difficult situation because of the strange way that he was tried, if you will. But I think it's all the while that we have all this going on with people distracted about Russia. The regime in Baku is increasing the suppression of freedom of expression and human rights. I hope the U.S. is talking to Baku about this.
You mentioned what sort of started this whole thing, and the arrest took place over government criticism of a public interview that Ali Aliyev had, where he voiced concerns about a national disaster. Is there a chance that this is going to set a precedent that dissidents will not be able to voice their concerns in public for fear of being jailed?
Well, I think that if I were an Azerbaijani figure, I would be very concerned about what would happen if I did do an interview with any external media source. And I've not read the new media law, but from what people are saying, this is laying the basis for more repression along these lines. So I think there really is. This is the government sending a message. We're watching you. You think that you can say anything you want, because the people you're talking to are outside Azerbaijan. We're going to keep you from doing that. And I think it's just a sad chapter, another chapter in a continuing pattern of this. The one thing I take encouragement from is that there are more and more media sources, unfortunately outside of Azerbaijan, but that are covering developments. Over the last few months, I've seen more coverage of corruption, not just as a general problem, but naming names and going in quite frankly to a great detail that would embarrass, if not the government itself, certainly people in the elite. But I think this is probably a step too far now for the government, and they're going to be finding ways, I think, to use the new media law and, quite frankly, the lack of sustained attention from outside to government behavior on this. Ilham Aliyev was unhappy that he was not invited to this democracy summit that President Biden hosted last month. Well, there's a reason for that. And no, it's not because Biden's pro-Armenian. It's because Azerbaijan is not a democracy, and it proves that by doing things such as we've just been talking about, of suppressing the media, of sham judicial processes that put people in prison. And let's not forget, the hundreds of political prisoners who are still in prison, who should be released and are not. So, it's a point where Azerbaijan needs to turn in the right direction and allow human rights to be observed. And bring the country together to deal with both the challenges and opportunities that are ahead for Azerbaijan.